up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night, teardrops on the floor. The pain is over, feel the darkness take control.
Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bonnet. Don't try study me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat, you'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious, release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blown me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon, stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn, and I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted, can't copy, printed, can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I killed this beat, I might get convicted. They know how I move, it was predicted. Persistent, spoke it into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no cap when I be speaking. Listen.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Steph is here, maybe.
Yes.
Hello?
There's a lot of mood. Oh, a lot of music.
Yeah.
A lot of music. Hello, music.
Hello, music. How are you doing, Steph?
I'm doing okay.
Alright. Welcome in, Luigi. Welcome in, 8-Bit Verse. Luigi's been stretched, so we're stretching. Let's see. I think I have to switch the chat thing out too, actually. Hang on. Hopefully this works. Normally. Oh, I gotta share screen too. Wait, where the heck? My VTuber isn't visible. I messed up there. What? Where? Okay, hang on. We got lunch while we're doing. I share screen with you. Yeah, I'm moving to a new condo,
You are.
and so part of my setup is here, and part of my setup is there, and everything's different now, and it's hard to adjust.
Right.
You want to give updates, Steph? Before I give my
I
updates,
don't have
anything?
any updates. How was your Thanksgiving?
I didn't do anything, so it was fine.
Okay, cool.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Also did nothing, and it was fine.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Right.
That way you don't have to argue with your racist uncle about Trump or something. Is that the typical
Right.
American experience?
I think that's the typical American experience.
Okay. Moving is expensive.
Yes, that is so true.
The condo itself is expensive, but then like, so make sure you don't be like, I'm gonna spend every single cent I have on the condo, because there's additional expenses that make it even more expensive afterwards. My credit card statement this month is 3 times what it is in normal months.
Wow.
So whatever I spend on the normal month, you triple that, and you get what I have to pay this month. And actually, honest, I think most of it is not related to the move necessarily. Some of it is like I'm trying to buy tech gadgets that make the move easier, but they're not strictly necessary. But some of it is I had to buy. I'm going to Montreal as well, and on the 15th, I think. So that's expensive. Are you able to see my screen, by the way?
Right. I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. Where's the heck is the music? Oh, it's over here. Stop the music. And normally, we would do just chatting before the game, but this time we're gonna start the game immediately.
Okay.
The game is called Yugo, the non-game, so it's actually not a game, I guess. And my understanding of what it is you sit in a car with another person and you're driving along the road. So are you seeing all this stuff?
I am, yes.
Okay, perfect. English, full screen, look sensitive, sound volume, ambient volume, read volume, faster. Start a new session. Name a session with your friends can join you. I guess I call it no. Make the session public? Absolutely not. I'm hoping purple means that's the one I chose. Start session. Okay. How would self-drive? I don't really want to drive. So see, Steph, this is how do I? Oh, this is how. Like, if you were here, if you had the game, you would be sitting here, and then we could be talking while driving.
That would be better.
It would be like a just chatting game.
It would be like a just chatting game. Wouldn't that be amazing?
We used to do this, right? We went for drives before. We went to like, was it Pulip Tulip Festival or something? I don't even know.
Probably the Tulip Festival. Maybe the Puyallup Fair.
And then you've like spotted a bee, and I didn't spot the bee. Like it was, there's lots of bees, but like the thing with there was a sign that says, "Can you spot the
queen
queen?" or
bee.
something like that. Yeah, and you're like, "Yeah, it's right there." I'm like, what the heck? There's a million bees here. How the hell do you see the queen bee?
It's true. That was at the Toppenish State Fair, I think, in Massachusetts.
That's not how I remember it, but who knows?
It's hard to know. It could have been the Puyallup Fair, but I think it was one.
What's this? Oh, these are radio
hard to know,
stations, I
yeah.
guess.
I guess
can-
that makes more sense,
We
doesn't it?
can watch different radios or listen to different radio stations. Yeah, so moving, they're selling tickets to Montreal. I gotta buy. I had to order. Well, I didn't have to, but when I set up internet in a new place, and it's like, do you want to pay 1 year in advance to like save, I don't know, a month or something like that? And I'm like, sure. That's expensive. And there's a $6 charge on my credit card statement for something in New York, and I don't know what that is. So I guess maybe I'll dispute it. I don't know. $6.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if someone was stealing it, why would they only steal $6? Like maybe it's like an international business. I bought something online, and the business is headquartered in New York or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this sunset? What is this? Or dusk?
Twilight, maybe?
Does that mean nighttime?
Not quite nighttime, but after dusk.
After that, wait. I thought dusk is this when the sun is like gone. Yeah, because they say
Yeah,
from
sure.
dusk to dawn, right? So dawn is when the sun appears, and dusk is be when the sun disappears. Then.
Right.
So what's I thought Twilight was like midnight or something like that.
I don't think of it that way, but I think the terms are nebulous.
I'm pretty sure dawn is not nebulous. 40 says
It
this
could
is.
be. What if it's cloudy?
40 says this is Dursk.
Dursk. That's perfect.
Wait, so I don't think Steph and 40 were on the stream at the same time until now. 40's.
We have been once before.
Oh, really?
Hey, 40.
Okay. 40's been a regular
One
recently,
while ago.
and Steph
Oh,
has
nice.
been an irregular because she missed last Thursday, I guess.
Oh,
What?
Thanksgiving?
I
You're
guess,
docking
yeah.
me for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm it's every Thursday is the rule. And then you're like, oh, no. I have lame excuses for this one. And also, upcoming one. Is it the next Thursday? I don't know. Or the one after. There's some Thursday coming up that you're gonna miss also, I think.
Oh, Christmas, right? The day after Christmas?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
And shame on you for having no excuse basically for missing these Thursdays.
Yeah, fair.
On a different topic, I'm gonna be missing from the 15th to
What?
the 29th
What?
or something like that. But I
What?
have an excuse because I'm
No
in Montreal.
excuses. No excuses.
I have an
None.
excuse.
No excuse. They have internet in Montreal.
Well, are you sure it's Canada? It's a
This
primitive
is
country.
information that I am sure of.
They might not have internet there. I haven't been there in a while, so
have it
I
there.
don't know if they developed internet yet in Canada.
You know what? Still lack of excuse. I do not buy it.
I'm checking my notes here for just chatting topics. Okay, so a bunch of people are DMing me. They're like, "What the heck is with that goo in the bathtub in the shower?"
Yeah, what the literal hell?
What are you talking? This is
No,
no.
like it looks like literal, like it looks like a portal to the underworld or where you chop up the bodies. Like, what is happening?
This is just what it looks like. This is just how it is.
No.
This is
Nope.
'cause-
No, sir. Nope.
yeah, because
No.
first of all,
No.
so I saw, was it one or two YouTube? I can't remember if it's two different YouTubes or if it's one YouTube. But like, so the first YouTube is this. He's a British guy, and he's like, "Why is there always pink gunk in American showers?" You know, showing that it's a universal thing in America,
Sure.
not
Yes,
apparently
okay.
not a British
Okay.
thing.
So there is a type of mold that grows in really unclean showers. Just a little bit that's pink.
Yeah, well, I
You
don't know.
look like
I don't know if it's mold. I heard it's
that looks
bacteria,
like the
but
world's biggest colony of like those things are taking over the world.
but yes,
That is the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
there's
You're saying that's what that is.
there's a pink bacteria in American water systems, apparently, not in the British water systems, not in the European ones. So that when you like, this weird pink goo starts growing around on showers in North America, but not in Canada, by the way. Actually, you know, like, this is also, it was also new to me seeing this stuff.
That is horrifying.
So I'm like, I don't know what this goo is, but it's just, there's this pink goo apparently when you take showers, because there's bacteria in the water of the shower. So that's the first video, and then there's the second video, which might also still be the first video. I can't remember if this was the same video, so I don't know if this is related or this is a different topic, but it reminded me of it, which is apparently the U.S. military performed a experimental secret bio-terror attack on the West Coast, and then it got leaked, so they got in trouble with it from the rest of the government, I guess.
Okay.
What they did is they found a quote-unquote harmless bacteria, and they injected it into the water system, like maybe with California or something like that, I don't remember. And then they monitored like how far it spread, right? And the idea was like to say, like, if an enemy did this, how bad would it be? And I don't remember if it's this pink thing.
What was
or
the
if
answer?
I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. Like, the point.
Oh wait, so this means you do remember, and these are the results of the experiment.
No, what I remember is that
released during the
it was the outrage,
in the
right?
bathtub.
When the public was like, I can't believe that the U.S. military is experimenting on its own citizens and type of thing.
It's experimenting on that shower.
Well, yeah. So here's one open question: is the pink goo that Americans have that the same bacteria as what the military injected into the water systems as experiment, or are these two unrelated stories? That's what I can't remember.
That's freaky. It's freaky. Like,
What, the military or my specific
whoever's
shower?
listening, just your specific shower. I don't even care about the military anymore. Like, I just want the people listening to picture the worst thing that you could possibly imagine when you hear about
Let me hang
a
on. If I click out,
renegade
does it
pink
stop the
and
game?
black
No, it doesn't. Okay, hang
bacterial
on.
colony. Oh,
So there's a horror game called Silent Hill. Silent Hill bathroom scare scene. Do you think it's gonna be comparable?
nothing could be worse.
Yeah, these are well. I mean, these tiles here are comparable.
That
Right.
looks clean
The
comparatively.
toilets look clean, but this like this section here, you see this weird brownish stuff growing up
Yeah.
the wall. That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, it's right, but like multiplied by 10. I've never seen any like. It's hard.
Hey Tess, welcome in. We're trying to find spooky looking bathrooms. Like the floor here is what it looks like right here.
We've already found one.
Yeah, but I
Already
mean,
found one. Yeah, but it looks like it's like it goes up the walls. It looks like it's multiple inches thick.
It's not. It's like 0
Did I-
inches thick. It's
When I
by
responded
rounding.
back in Messenger, did I respond back in all caps with a lot of swear words? What are we doing in this game?
We're having a drive. Isn't this is what Americans used to do, right? They just drive and talk.
I don't think at night. At night?
Well, it could be at night, like, whenever you feel like it, I guess. Whenever you feel the need.
Alright.
Yeah, so my credit card bill is high. I haven't even paid. I haven't hired movers yet. Like I've been using like little carts to bring furniture back. Well, not furniture actually, just like everything smaller than furniture back and forth between the two apartments. Eventually, I'm gonna have to call or hire movers to move like the couch and then the desk and things that are too heavy for me.
Right.
So that's an extra expense. I have to call a lot. Well, I'm in talks with a locksmith, but I haven't paid him yet, so he's gonna come and change the locks, and that's another expense. When I got the condo, we had an inspector come and look around and then check everything, and then he gave me a PDF with like all the problems he found. So that's like someone has to repair that. So that's another. One of the outlets isn't working. Some of the sinks are leaky. Things like that.
In the new place?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So he found all these problems. And then
That doesn't sound good.
yeah.
So, does that add more to your finances?
Yeah, I gotta
Especially-
pay someone to fix them.
Right. Right.
I gotta pay a plumber or something like that to make the
I seriously,
faucets.
I'm so distracted by the shower thing. I'm kind of a little stuck on that. I apologize. I'm like, I'm not even listening to anything you're saying.
Well, okay, so you saw in the new video, like the new shower is clean, right?
That is correct.
So that's
it's
good.
just a vision of what's going to happen in the number of
No,
years.
so here's the
Like,
thing.
how- you
I think there's
you
stuff.
haven't even lived that long
I've
in.
been here for 2
that
years,
place.
first of all, and then second of
And you
all,
cleaned the shower how many times?
probably 0, maybe once. I don't know.
Okay.
But here's the
Alright,
thing. I think the water in this place is like weird. Like even like from the kitchen sink, I get like when I first moved in and I drank it, it was like I don't know about this, and so I bought a water filter. So I think there
Sorry?
is something specifically about the water here. I don't know.
I can't believe that like you moved in somewhere that you were like, I'm not sure if the water's potable. All right.
I mean,
Cool.
it seems potable. Like isn't there like a legal requirement for it to be potable in the U.S. or something? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm worried that your whole department is in a third world country.
But it did taste a little. I don't know. It wasn't like it was.
Non-potable?
It
Is
was
that the word
no.
you're looking for?
It was subtle. It was like it just. I didn't like the way it tasted. Yeah, like I
Sure.
couldn't like if it's not subtle, it's like yeah, there's something wrong with the water. But it's subtle, so I was like, I'm not
Right.
sure about the water here. No, but the thing is, so like like you can buy bottled water like Evian, and I don't remember the other
Sure.
brand
Dasani
names.
or
Yeah, well, okay, so
Nestle or-
Dasani
yeah.
specifically, I want to call out because I don't like the
Okay.
taste of Dasani. There's something
Right,
about
because
Dasani
it's cool water.
that's
It's
different.
chlorinated.
Okay, but the other
It's
bottled
disgusting.
waters I like fine. Like they taste
Yeah,
like
it's
fine.
Yeah.
But Dasani, I'm like, there's something wrong with this water.
Dasani and
Is what I
pink.
think.
A lot of people think Arrowhead, in particular, is kind of metallic, which I
Okay.
agree with.
I don't know if I've ever had Arrowhead. I don't recognize the brand name. So
I have strong feelings.
okay. But so that's what I mean. Where like like water can taste weird, but apparently it's fine as demonstrated by Dasani.
Yes, I think that is true. And if it was someone like me saying, I don't love the water here, I would maybe be less concerned. I have seen other things that you eat.
I'm relatively a picky eater. I think not as much as you, but like I'm more picky than a neurotypical, I feel like.
I don't know. I'm neurotypical and very picky, so I'm not sure what that means.
Well, you're
but
not neurotypical on the dimension of food pickiness, I guess, right?
I'm not gustatorially typical, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, there's what I'm saying is there's a spectrum, and like, you know, there's the mode, and I'm away from the mode, and you're even more away from that mode.
Right.
But the point is, I am also away from the mode. So like, I'm not, you know, when you say like, oh, you eat weird stuff, well, you know, normal people eat even weirder stuff than me.
I don't eat anything weird. That's the part that's so freaky to me, I guess. Whatever, it's fine. You're going to leave all that behind.
Yeah.
It will be amazing. Your health will improve.
Well, yeah, that's
I won't have as many nightmares.
there's always that question, right? Of like,
Yeah.
like,
Seriously.
because your gut bacteria affects your mental
Yeah.
health, and so you're eating,
Yeah.
you're drinking this stuff.
Right.
Also, CO2 levels in the air, like, and your brain isn't oxygenated, so you can get
Yeah.
cognitive deficiency.
Yeah.
So like, everybody is like constantly poisoned, and who knows, right? Like,
I was trying to think who makes a big deal out of that. That's Scott Alexander, right?
yeah. Well, he did a self experiment
yeah.
recently. I don't know that I wouldn't say he made a big deal out of it, but he did do like a trial where I forget what he did, but then he like I can't remember how he controlled for the CO2 levels, but he would do like mental test games, right? And log his
Right.
And yeah, so I read that and I'm like, ooh, that, you know, this sounds like a big deal. So I bought a whole bunch of
Yeah.
CO2 sensors, and yeah,
Yeah.
my CO2 levels go crazy, or like overnight. They would, like, how do I say it? Before I paid attention, or before I made lifestyle changes to my life, the CO2 levels would go crazy overnight. I discovered, because I bought the sensor and then, like, you know, just live life as normal and then look at what the sensor said, and basically like all my windows are shut, you know, and I go to sleep, and like all the, you know, as I'm breathing it at night, all the air is trapped here, I guess. And then like
Wow.
and so the lifestyle change I made is like I leave the window open now, and that makes a huge difference when I sleep. I think
Have you noticed any difference?
I have not noticed cognitive differences,
Interesting.
but I
Where do you buy
haven't
a
I haven't really
CO2
been like, I haven't done mental quiz tests or anything like that, so I haven't really been measuring.
Right. Where do you buy such a sensor?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. So if you do what I do, which is you sort by cheapest and you buy the cheapest one, make sure you buy 2 of them, like, and different brands. Because the first one I bought, I think it's fake. Because like it did not react to changes in stimuli, whereas the other one did react. So then I think, you know, the one that did react is like, okay, that's real. The other one is fake. Like, it's
Maybe it didn't react because like it broke as soon as it got into your
maybe.
apartment. It's just like, I give up.
No, it just always report like, you know, a little above average or something like that. So I think
Right.
it's just a fraud, you know.
Interesting.
Whereas the other one, like, you know,
I guess I
if I leave the window open, it goes down. If I close the window, it goes up. So it actually reacts to all that stuff.
Interesting. What made Scott Alexander interested in the topic?
I guess maybe somebody or somehow he got the idea in his mind, and this, I might be doing typical mind fallacy here, like, you know, because
Right.
I'm saying here's what I would do. You know, when it's brought to my attention, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a big deal. I should investigate.
Right.
But I think like if you were like out in nature, 300 is a ppm, parts per million, is what's normal. Where I am in Seattle, 400, like high is bad, low is good. 400 is what you would get outdoors where I am, like, you know, like in the city, not in the wilds. So it's a
Right.
bit worse. And then like if I leave the windows closed and I overnight, the next morning it'll be like 2000 ppm in my place.
Interesting.
So that's when I said like,
What
wow, this is really bad,
considered-
you know.
Do we have data on what is bad?
Yeah, like I think above 500 is bad.
Okay.
So 300. Well, the other thing is like the standards keep slipping. I think like because in the old
Right.
days, like maybe 200 was good. Now 300 is nature. And then maybe in 20 years 400 will be what nature is, and then 500 is what's in the city, and then and so on.
Right. Well, it's also like, I don't know, because there's ventilation is much better than it used to be in a lot of places, right? Like
Yeah,
when you
but
live next to a fire.
I feel like most people's homes
bad.
don't have like ventilation systems.
Right, but they do live really close to like the cooking fire, which I mean, certainly it includes small, fine particulate matter, which is bad for your health as well. But I think it would also increase your CO2 levels.
I haven't like you're talking about like modern day, or you're talking the old times?
Both, right? In Africa, you might still live, or in
Yeah, so
India
I'm
or
in first
something.
world modern times. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, what I'm getting at is like my stove, I don't think has an effect on the CO2 levels. Like I can leave the stove on, and the meter doesn't go up.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, interesting. Um, is he also concerned with fine particulate matter? Is that something that he thinks about?
I don't know. This is like a long time ago. It's more than a year. It might have been 2 years ago, 3 years ago that Scott wrote about this.
I need you to know what he's doing at all times and update me.
Okay. Well, not only do I not know what he's doing now, I don't remember what he was doing 3 years ago. So
Oh,
when he told us
then
all what he was doing 3 years ago in his blog post, I read it, and now it's gone from my memory.
confused as to how you're going to help me.
But even
All
so,
right.
even in a new place, I mean, it's me, right? It's me breathing out CO2. So when I go to a new place, I put the sensor there, and then like if I gotta leave the windows open, because otherwise it starts, the numbers start going up again.
Have you considered breathing less?
I did look up. I don't even know if this is the right thing. I looked up CO2 scrubbers. Like like what do people
Oh, right,
what does the
yeah.
ISS use, right, in space?
Right.
And like these things are like so expensive. Holy crap! They're like $600 or something like that. I'm like, oh man. Oh, I'd rather just open the window at this point, right? Like,
Yeah, not sure I want that much health. Interesting. All right, I have to step away from the keyboard for a moment to do something with my dog. So you'll have to talk amongst yourself.
I don't. Okay, we're just gonna drive around, I guess.
All right, try and get to the next level.
Okay,
Be right back.
I'll try my best to get to the next level. What
Hey,
happens?
Zoe. Hey, let's-
Happens if I click switch drivers? Do I go into driver's seat? Nope, I do not. I mean, the passenger seat is what I meant. I think 40. I don't know if you're still here, 40. What is this game? 40. Isn't this the game that you sent me a video of? Like the guy who, like, you see, like he would be sitting in the other seat. This is a multiplayer game. This is like all you do is go on a road trip and talk to people. I think that's the whole game. It's called Yugo the non-game. And like didn't you send me a clip where there was like two guys in the car, and then one guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna reach over and open the door," and then is it this game? Is it? I don't know. I'm asking you. This game is called Yugo the non-game. So is it this game or what? Because it looks like this game, right? Except I don't have to open the doors, because that's something the guy did, right? Maybe I can't open the doors. So if I can't, then maybe it's not this game. Maybe it's a different game. Controls? Yeah, I guess I cannot open doors. I can only like WSD. So maybe it must be a different game, because you can't open the doors in this game. But this game is supposed to simulate that feeling, like in the old days, when I guess gas was cheap, or when people didn't really care about global warming, you would just like go for a drive because you're bored. Like this is just something to do. So you just get in your car, and then your friend, maybe your family, your kids in the back, and you just drive, and you just talk, I guess, right? You have the radio playing. So that's what this game is a recreation of. And I put it on auto drive right now, so it's driving for me. But in theory, I could turn off auto drive and I could drive myself. Like I could do the steering and all that.
All right. Now I'm going to turn on my treadmill and walk while we talk,
All right.
while we drive.
You can have you can have the non-motion sickness because in your visual perception you see forward motion and then you're also walking forward, so it feels
And
like
also forward motioning.
yeah. So there's
It's gonna be
no
perfect.
mix of signals, so there should be no motion sickness. 40 says
Exactly.
hi, Steph.
Hey! Do you guys ever stream together?
No, I messaged him about it, but he ignored me. So I guess that's a polite way of saying no.
Typical 40s. Kidding. Um,
40
Bummer.
says 40 says, Steph, do you still live in the same city as Narb?
I do not. Still. No, which is why we've gone to
Discord.
Discord. Thank
or
you.
Just chatting.
Like, this thing. Yes. I actually don't live in any city.
You don't live in any city?
That's correct.
I'm assuming you're on like the United States continent.
I am on the United States continent.
So
I am in North America.
I didn't know that there were like regions that are not well, I mean, how do I phrase it? There's this concept of like, are you in the city or are you more like in suburbs or something like that, right? But
Sure.
I thought those suburbs are like when you say like in New York City or whatever, like there's a region that's like this is a city and the suburb is part of some city.
Sure. So, what other option could you think of?
So then I thought like if that understanding is correct, then I had another assumption that that relies on this assumption, which is that I thought every part of America is tiled as part of some city.
Oh, it isn't. There are lots of areas that are not in a major, like a metroplex or even within hours of a city. Like all of Alaska or all of Wyoming only have about 500,000 people. It's very, very rural. Few things that you would necessarily consider big cities, and most of the people do not even live near a small city. But I also don't not live in a city, so riddle that one out.
40 says, Neb's smelly butt got too much for you, eh?
Pretty much, exactly.
No, what I mean, like, I
And the
guess
shower, Jesus.
I was thinking more of like, I guess like a technocrat, right? And a hierarchical labeling system of like, so you have this region, this surface area, right, of space, and this is the United States, and then we cut it up into smaller regions, and these are states, and then you cut each state into a smaller region, and these are cities, and so there's no way for like you say, oh, but we forgot this part, right? Like, oh,
That's not correct.
yeah.
We do cut each state up into counties.
What the heck is a county?
Well, like Seattle is in King County, right? The county is bigger than the city.
Is city? Yeah, I was about to say, is Seattle the city? Okay, so the county is a bigger thing. So you cut up the state of the county, and
Yes.
you can't cut up the county into cities.
And there's no part of a state that isn't some county.
Okay.
Right, there are, like, Louisiana has parishes instead of counties. And
also, like,
some
one of
the
them is not a
territories-
state or something like that, right? Like DC or something like that.
DC is not a state, that's correct.
And then
we have a variety
it's like,
of
who
territories.
cares? Just call yourself a state, make it easy.
They would like to. They're not allowed to.
What do you mean they're not allowed to?
I mean, they're not allowed to, because if they did, they would have senators and other rights. They could pass laws that are different.
So
than the
they
ones
don't
that
have
are-
senators, but instead they have like
They're in-
senators or something.
Right. They don't even have senators.
We gotta call them something different because we can't call them a state.
They actually have taxation without representation.
Isn't
As
that
to our
what the
territory.
guy in Boston didn't
Yeah.
like?
Yes.
That one guy.
So there have been calls to make Puerto Rico a state, to make Washington D.C. a state.
Wait, what's Puerto Rico?
It's territory. Guam, Puerto Rico, American Samoa are territories. The U.S. Virgin Islands.
If only we had a map and you could point all these things out to me, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
If only. But I also don't live in a county or a state.
So what you're saying is you're dead legally.
Nope.
You're
That's not what I'm
there's
saying.
a certificate of death, which is how you. This is all part of a tax evasion scheme, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
Because they said only two things are inevitable, and you're like, well, I don't want taxes, so I'm picking the other one. Cake or death.
Right. I actually live in an RV, and live a nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah, but like, if every part of the U.S. is is cut up into states and then counties, then you're in some county. Sure, if assuming you're in the United
right?
States.
Right, but I don't. Like you've also been to, I don't know, Boston for a very short period of time. Do you consider yourself as living in Boston? Did you live in Boston?
I lived in
Did you list that
Boston
as your address?
for a short while. I was alive and in Boston.
Right, that's slightly different than what is colloquially meant to live in.
I looked at some RVs actually,
Did you?
and I don't know anything about how any of that works.
Yeah.
Like when I look in the RV and there's like a shower, I'm like, but where does the water come from? And is it gonna have
Right,
pink
right.
goo?
Yeah. You were also probably sorting them by price.
Yes. Because here's the thing, like my condo, like not
Yeah.
by choice, it comes with a parking spot. So I'm like, well, I could
Yeah.
get an RV and then I can use that
could.
parking spot, as a living location. But like if it has a
you-
shower and if like, so I understand like if you go to campgrounds, they can give you hookups or something like that. I don't think there's a hookup in my parking spot, so I feel like
There's
that's not gonna happen.
So you would do something called dry camping.
What's dry camping? It sounds like you just
So-
don't take showers.
Well, you wouldn't take a lot of showers, because what you can do is you could, if you have your RV that drives itself, or if you can hook it up to a tow vehicle, you can go and fill up the tanks so that you could fill up the water tanks.
So I could like
And then for the next couple days,
take
you
a
could
bucket,
have water.
fill it in my kitchen sink, take the elevator down to the parking lot, the parking garage, pour the bucket into the RV, and that's how I shower in my RV.
You could. Most of us just use a hose, but sure.
Well, I can't run the hose all the way from my apartment down to the parking garage
Why not? Have you tried?
because it's like 5 stories up, and the parking garage is like 2 stories down
get
or
a
something
long
like that. And like through
Get a
what,
long
like
one.
window in the elevator shaft?
Yeah, sure. No, you would go to like a RV station, or
So like I would have
Other than
moved the RV out of the parking spot. Is what you're saying?
yes,
Yeah, that already sounds like a non-starter for me
right.
because I don't
Some
have a
people
driver's
get it.
license.
Some people will do like they'll buy water at the grocery store and use that water.
Yeah,
for-
or I just fill a bucket from the sink in my kitchen. That sounds a lot
You
better
could, yes.
than
I
buying
don't know why
water
you're trying to.
at the grocery
I
store.
have any idea why you're trying to live in a different place than you currently. Like, why would you live in the parking spot of the house you own?
I'm just trying to maximize square footage, basically,
I see.
and in particular, like, because right now the place I have is too big for me. I feel like,
Mhm.
like the
Yeah,
place,
you need to bring it.
my old apartment is I think 700 square feet, and the new one is 1100 square feet.
Right.
So almost double, just a little bit under double, I guess. And so I'm thinking like what if I get a roommate? What if I Airbnb part of it, And then
Right.
and then the logical extension of that is, well, I also have a parking lot, so can I Airbnb that, And
Oh, I see what the. Okay.
or
Couldn't figure out.
worst case, because like maybe like it's too unbearable for neurotypicals to think of, Airbnb being into an RV in a parking lot. I say, okay, so I live in the parking lot, and you
Right.
guys get the whole apartment.
I see.
40 says freshwater, gray water, and dark water. I don't know what that means. Or you get a subscription to Planet Fitness. They are all over the US and they're 24/7. Yeah, I heard that's a trick
You can
for
also do that. Exactly.
for access to
Take
shower.
showers there.
Yeah, but the whole point is I don't want to leave. I don't want to go anywhere. So I just want to like sit in my RV in my parking spot, and then never have to do anything. I guess wait, then I need
They will let you
electricity
use
too,
the
right?
bathroom.
Yeah, I mean it's my
Yeah,
it's
you
my
do.
apartment, so yeah, they're gonna let me use the bathroom.
Like you can get batteries, and use those for a short period of time, but you'd have to have some way to charge them.
Yeah, in
Usually
my
people do
apartment, I
solar,
guess.
but you can't do that.
Like I guess I carry a battery and a bucket of water, back and forth between my apartment and the RV.
At that point, you might as well just shower in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I will primarily do. But sometimes, like let's say it's 3 a.m. or something like that, I don't want to disturb the tenants or whatever. So
You could also get an RV and rent it out. People used to stop by my house all the time and be like, "Oh wow, your RV's so cool. Do you rent it out on the weekends?" So there's a big market for that.
that sounds harder though, because like if they don't return, I guess you need a deposit or something. I don't know if they don't return the RV, they
Yeah,
just drive
probably
off of it.
deposit, and insurance and like geotagging on it.
Yeah,
I think the real problem would be that they'll cause damage.
crash it into
Right?
something.
They'll drive over tire spikes or break the toilet or
Yeah,
run over a deer or something. Yeah. I was mostly just freaked out by the fact of them sleeping and doing other things in my bed, and I was like, no, absolutely not.
because some of the RVs I saw
great
look
way to
really
get
nice
that done.
actually. Like,
A lot of them are very nice.
but I just can't get over. But like how inconvenient it would be to refill the water tank and charge the electricity battery and.
It's not inconvenient if you are staying in an RV park,
Right,
or a
but I'm
state park.
but I'm not. So
but yeah.
I also looked into electric bicycles, just because
Like-
it's like sometimes a hassle to get places. Electric scooters, electric bike,
Right.
any of that stuff.
Right.
So I don't
What
need a
about one of
driver's
those cool
license, but I can still
motorcycles?
go around. Yeah, especially like if I want to like buy used stuff from other people, right? And you're like, well, I'll pick up only. Then
What about an electric penny farthing?
sorry.
An electric penny farthing?
Oh yeah. Morty says electricity can be solar, but you have to be in the sun, i.e. not in the garage all day. You're right. Wow, that's not gonna work for this
Yeah.
case.
Right.
But so in Seattle, at least, there's like 3 different classes of bicycles or something. Class 1, class 2, class 3. And class 3, you have to drive on the road, but class 1 and class 2, you can drive on the sidewalk or something. And it got too confusing. I was like, screw it, I'm not gonna do this.
Interesting.
Because like I couldn't find like scooters. Then are they also classes, or are they considered like their own thing, or like how do I say it? Yeah, well, I think I did, but I can't remember why I wasn't satisfied with his answer.
Have you done that thing where you ask ChatGPT to tell you what it thinks you look like?
No, I haven't. Is that
Huh.
is that trending these days?
It's trending these days. I asked ChatGPT to tell me to create a picture of what it thought I looked like. And it actually did a pretty good job, except that the picture was like not safe for work.
Okay.
I don't think it did a great job because it made me look 20 years younger and way like more manic Princess Michelle Pfeiffer situation than I am, but I was impressed that it figured out somehow that I'm like kind of generally my race, and had a good guess about my hair color and that sort of thing. And
But when you said guess your race, like
so,
isn't that like if someone were extremely
yeah, it's probably
racist,
default.
wouldn't they
I know.
just guess your race anyway? Like
Yeah, probably. Probably. But like it knew my gender, right?
Yeah, I feel like
Anyway.
gender isn't too hard to if you interact with it a
probably
lot,
isn't.
like it isn't too hard to infer. But race might be
right,
harder.
I know. Yeah.
But things like hair color,
No,
eye colors
it's-
might be difficult to infer from your writing style. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know how it did it. And it, put me in a like nice looking office that kind of looks similar to my office.
Yeah, profession is
but
probably
also-
easy to infer from writing style. Well, relatively.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think like what's easy and what's
Right,
hard
and
from
I ask it about
Yeah.
technology all the time.
yeah.
But it also put me in clothing that like a streetwalker would wear. And
And let me remind you
the-
that this is all inferred from your writing style. So
I know, right?
from your
And also,
interaction
like,
with
the chest
ChatGPT,
area
it's like this is what I
was
think of you.
The chest area was so big, it was hard to even like look up at the face. It's for like, oh my god. What? Yeah. So
Yeah. No, I haven't tried that. I'm curious now. I'll have
that's
to
how
try
I
it.
write, apparently. Yeah.
Actually, I mean, we could just try it right now, right? Where I'm at the computer.
Yeah, just do it right now.
All right, hang on. ChatGPT.com.
I think you just say something like, based on all our previous interactions, create a picture. I think you have to tell it an actual picture of what you think I look like.
Based on
Because
all
otherwise
our interactions, create an actual picture what you think I look like. Like that?
Yeah.
It's sharing an image.
It's gonna be shower goo. Whoa, what are you doing?
So, I mean, so if it knows I'm Twitch,
That's
it knows
not bad.
it knows I'm a nerd. I mean, it's not that good though. It's like this is basic shit. Twitch and nerd. That's all it got from me.
But like,
And male, I guess.
interesting.
Here's an image based on your attractions.
Interesting.
It blends elements of your professional and creative persona, incorporating your interest in STEM, gaming, and VTubing. Let me know what you think. Forty says, "Whoa, you are a cyborg." It doesn't even know that I'm Asian from this. Like,
It didn't give you big breasts either, which I'm sort of disappointed about.
yeah, me too. Where's my big breasts? Yeah, in the background, I have a poster that just says STEM subjects.
Picture of Seattle, right?
Oh, it does, yeah, that is Seattle. Oh, so okay, so no Seattle,
See?
Twitch, nerd, because there's computer like code on the background.
Not
and STEM.
super neat.
What do you mean not super neat?
Not very well groomed.
What are you talking about?
Clothing that hasn't been washed in a while.
No, this is you. This is just your what's it?
Glasses. They got glasses.
This is the P.T. Barnum effect. That's what you're doing here. Like this is neutral
Sure,
clothing,
sure.
and you're like, well, Neb, dresses
Right.
poorly, so I'm gonna
Neutral.
interpret it. I'm gonna interpret it as bad clothing, even though it's neutral clothing.
It's neutral, but it's not like it's nice clothing. It didn't put you in a suit.
No, because they're doing the nerd stereotype. Like nerds don't wear suits. Nerds have glasses
what about
too.
The, like, nerds have glasses. So
Yeah,
nerds-
like
you're right.
it's just doing the
What about
stereotype.
what about the indifferent grooming?
I don't know. Maybe that there is a bit of correlation with nerd there. Like
Right.
like the neckbeard stereotype and.
All right.
Forty
I don't know,
says,
that looks more like you than like the average Seattleite does. So
I don't know about that. Like, well, maybe.
it knew it didn't put you in a fleece or next to a Subaru.
40 says, I am looking at a picture of my biological brother. I am seeing your avatar in the corner of the
See?
screen. I am seeing double. It's like I.
See? 40's with me.
All right. While we got this up, actually, I have a whole bunch of TikTok videos to show you. I was avoiding it because you know, like the game, but.
Right.
It pauses. This is an aphantasia test. I guess, okay, so try to visualize a sheep, I guess. 40 says,
Visualize a sheep?
yeah. 40 says, I don't know who
Okay.
to shoot, gun trembling. Because he's seen clones, I guess.
There's two of you.
40, you can do this too, and like any viewers, like imagine, like, we're testing your capability, like, so let's take a step back. What is aphantasia? So apparently some people aren't able to imagine things visually. These, like, if you have that condition, it's called aphantasia. And I guess we won't get too deep into it, but so the idea now is like, so, you know, close your eyes and try to imagine a sheep and see, what do you see? Okay, and then now this person on TikTok has this chart of like possible things that maybe people see, so that we can compare. We have something to talk about as a baseline.
Okay.
And here. So like, how aphantasic are you, I guess, is the question. So do you have an answer, Steph?
9.
You're 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm somewhere in the 9 to 11 area, maybe like a high 10.
Yeah. I feel like closer to like 9.5.
I was, if I had to pick, say one number, I would say 10.5, right? But
What happens for me is I get something like 10, but I picture it simultaneously from several different angles.
okay.
And I kind of have this like, oh, maybe it's black, or maybe it's white, or maybe it has a black face. Like, it's left problematically opened in terms of like being able to visualize something. So it looks more nebulous, like 9 for me. Like, it's
Yeah.
definitely not in shades like pink or green. And I don't even know what 1 through 7 are.
Yeah, I don't like. I was wondering, like, do people actually see 1 through 8 even?
Right.
Um,
I don't think that's true.
but
Like, I could imagine seeing 1 or 2, right? Like, just what your eyes closed look like.
yeah,
Or absolutely nothing. But
9, I feel like I see more details in 9, but I definitely don't see as much detail as 11.
yeah,
So
I hear you on that.
10,
I think
but I do see, like, 10 is just a silhouette, right? And I feel like I can make out, like, you know, the eyes and the nose and things like that, right? So that's
a
more
little
like
bit,
11.
yeah. I just see them from multiple angles. Kind of all of it. Like, I'm sort of like, well, it could. I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's
yeah, for me at least, it's not.
leaving it so open in my brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not a stable image. Like, I'm not sure what color it
Right,
is.
it's not a stable image. Right.
Unless
Exactly.
someone like prompts me, right, or like primes me. So like, think of
Right.
a red sheep or something like that, then it's like, okay, now it's
Right.
red.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Like, it still doesn't look like 15 or 14, but
Right.
it gets a lot closer to 12. I don't think I usually picture it in an environment.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, mine's definitely not an
Like,
environment.
I can like, if you say picture a sheep in a field,
Yeah, right.
like the background for me will turn field color. But again, it will be multiple at the same time. I'm like, as soon as I said that, I was like, yeah, but I have a picture of brown and yellow at the same time, which isn't super possible, but I think that's just how people's visual imaginations often work.
Okay, but
This is why I'm not super sold on this ridiculous aphantasia
yeah.
concept.
But this is what I like about this TikTok video is that it actually gives us a chart so that we can talk about things comparatively. Because earlier, like, I'm saying,
Right.
you're saying you might have aphantasia, and I say I definitely don't, and we both said 10 basically, right?
Right.
Like,
Kind of, yeah. I said,
And you interpret 10 as like, oh, so therefore I have
fully
avantasia.
10, but yeah.
And I have 10, I say, oh, therefore I don't have avantasia. Like,
No, I know, and that's part of what I mean by like I don't think aphantasia is a useful concept because I don't think people can report on it accurately.
yeah.
And I think people who said they experienced 3 through 7 are lying. And I think
Wow.
people who said they experienced 14 and 15 are pulling up a memory.
I feel even my memories don't
are
look like
in-
15, you know? Like,
They don't really for me either, but I think they are. I think they're creating it in response to people saying like, "Oh, well, can you picture a sky and tell me what color it is?" And then like it's just kind of getting filled in, and the person doesn't realize it's happening. Like I just don't think we're very good reporters on our internal experience. So the idea that people have, I don't know, natural variation in this area that could be called aphantasia, I'm just not super sold on.
I'm trying it right now, actually. I'm trying to, like, remember things, scenes I've
Yeah.
seen. And actually, I can get 14, 15-ish. Like, it's definitely, it's not like watching a video. Like, so,
No,
but
but
it
it's
is,
a lot more
but I can, yeah, I can
stable.
yeah, it's stable, and also like if I like look somewhere and I can see the details
Yeah, you can
because
you
I'm
can pick out
remembering the
detail,
details.
right?
But for
Yes.
sheep, I'm like making
You're
it
like,
up,
oh, that
and
would
like
kind of
and maybe I
be-
don't even know what sheeps look like, right? In real
Right.
life, and so that's why it's like all weird and fuzzy.
Exactly. And I just think this is how, as far as we know from the studies, this is how human visualization works. And I think that people aren't super aware of it or able to report on it. And then this new idea swept over TikTok, and now people think they're. I think it's a lot of poor science. Well,
Tess,
no, not
redeem
even
hydrate,
science.
so we gotta hydrate.
I'm gonna go Wolfgang Tully. It's so bad it's not even wrong.
Did you hydrate? You gotta hydrate, Steph.
Oh, hydrate. All right. Does it count if I drink some root beer?
Yeah, because that's what I drank.
All right, fantastic.
All right, so that's the aphantasia thing.
What does 40 see? What's his
40,
number?
you didn't say, or and Tess also. What do you see? Which one do you see when you visualize a sheep? I'll leave this on for a few more seconds, but then I'm gonna switch to another video, which is like, is it a comedy? Question mark. It's hard to tell because it's just
Alright.
a little bit uneasy because it feels true-ish, like it's
Okay.
it hits some marks about stereotypes about living, about how life is nowadays, maybe specifically in Seattle. And it reminded me because you talked about Subaru and things like that, because they talk about Subaru.
Oh, okay.
And like I didn't even know Subaru is a Seattle thing.
Yeah.
My e-therapist has suggested.
Okay, let's switch over to anything. Let me quit the game actually because it's doing some background music stuff. And then
My e-therapist has suggested I start a journal. He says writing helps make sense of things. I found him online. He's the only therapist I can afford. I suspect his low prices are because he refuses to turn on his webcam. He says the webcam is broken, but I have a suspicion that he is playing video games during our sessions. I watch live
Oh,
streams
no.
of jail on TikTok. The inmates play basketball and talk to each other. It looks fun. The public library near my apartment is hosting an attention span contest. I don't know what that means. My girlfriend Kylie has suggested we join a local polycule she found on Discord. She
Oh,
thinks being
God.
part of a 7-person relationship will help bring community into our lives. A stranger named Xander hugs me and welcomes me into his home. I am told that I am in a relationship with this man. The coffee shop near my apartment has instituted surge pricing. I can now only afford to buy coffee before 5 a.m. or after 6 p.m. Kylie tells me that the stop sign near our apartment is going viral. I don't know how that could possibly be true.
I observed a pedestrian yelling voice commands at a Lime scooter.
I did not know they were voice activated, but he seemed very confident. I am being ejected from the polycule for neglecting the cuddle puddle. A month ago, I didn't know what any of these words meant. My e-therapist believes I may have schizophrenia. He asks me if I hear voices. I say just him. He unmutes his microphone to laugh, and I hear a TV in the background. My upstairs neighbor Brian has started a singles fight club. He assures me it will be a good chance to meet women, and there will be snacks. The homeless man gives me tickets to a comedy show. He tells me he lives in a tent encampment near the lake, and he is taking classes at Second City. I learned from Facebook that my ex-girlfriend Kylie is pregnant. They believe Xander is the father. I'm starting to suspect there was scheming inside the polycule. 2 of the inmates in TikTok jail got shipped during today's live stream. The guards canceled basketball. My mom calls me to ask where my father is. I am confused because they are still married and live together. She says she is going to the police department to file a missing persons report. Brian informs me that a man named David died at Singles Fight Club. The group is holding a celebration of life at Topgolf. He tells me it will be a good chance to meet women and there will be snacks. I have found a full-time job writing AI prompts to create deepfake pornography. It feels good to finally use my English degree. The search for my father is called off. He was at the grocery store and then taking a nap in the basement. He promises to pay closer attention to his phone. The world is changing in ways I do not understand. I have decided to join the homeless encampment near the lake. I hope to find a sense of purpose in their community. I have been ejected from the homeless community for neglecting the cuddle puddle.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so you were laughing the entire time. I was just like uncomfortable because I'm like, this is too close to how real life is for me. Like, what the heck?
I know, right? That's what life is like now.
That's and it doesn't make any. It's like it's all weird. What? This isn't how it was when I grew up, and now it's like this.
This is not how it was when I grew up.
And not only is it like this, but it's like this everywhere. Because like some guy I've never met made a TikTok about it, and it went viral. Meaning everybody is like, oh yeah, that's how it is here too.
Everybody's like, yep, that seems right.
The thing that especially hit me was
everywhere in the whole United States continent.
the girlfriend saying like the stop sign went viral, and then he looks out the window to look at the stop sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how's this how's the stop sign going viral?
How?
Like, what?
How is that possible? And yet it could be.
Yeah, like it's just crazy.
God, sometimes I'm on like Substack. I was on Substack the other day and I was reading this article and the person was making 3 different points. And the middle point was about a meme that she claims is everywhere. And like, I couldn't understand the article because I couldn't understand the meme. Like I was looking up I was on Know Your Meme. I was like trying to trace the origin of it. And about all the controversy related to it.
Explain this meme to me. What's the meme?
The meme is Wife Jack.
Wife Jack?
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
It's a Wojak?
I don't even know what a Wojak is. That like one of those mythical animals?
Exactly. Oh my god, damn it. I'm trying to connect all the dots to be able to understand the middle part of this article, and like it was so hard for me to understand. Like, and then there was this whole controversy where somebody else took the Wife Jack meme and made a husband Jack meme, but then the men all told her that she'd appropriated male culture and
that sounds
was
fake.
Clearly man-hating. Or
that's fake. No, that's fake. When like complaining about
appropriating
is definitely not like a cis hetero male
she
thing.
had to issue a public apology.
It could be a fake public. It's a performative public apology.
It could be
knows?
Right, but the person who apologized is named Cartoons Hate Her. She has like a very popular Substack.
All right.
So anyway, like
But yeah, there's
I
definitely
couldn't trace the history of the meme, which meant I couldn't understand the meme, which meant I couldn't understand her, the author's analogy, which meant I couldn't understand the middle principle of her argument, which meant I then couldn't understand the last part of the argument because
yeah.
it all built on that. It's just like, this is what it's like being alive today.
Yeah. There's definitely lots of social bubble stuff, and I think people underestimate how much social
Yeah.
bubble. Like where people are like, "Oh, everybody's seen this meme." I was
Yeah.
like, "I haven't seen this meme. I've never seen
Right.
this meme."
And you're like,
Like,
no, never, nope. And I'm like, well, it's a Wojak. And you're like, nope.
I don't know what a Wojak is. Yeah, like I thought is
No, and
like
then I was like
when
asking someone.
if like if you force me like like ChatGPT like guess what a Wojak is, right, and then describe it to me.
Yeah.
Like the thing that comes to mind is like in the like Norwegian mythology of like the monster that has like a deer skeleton head that lives in the forest.
Oh, right. Like,
I was like,
yeah.
is it that thing?
No,
Is that the Wojak?
No, I don't think so. No, but like I asked someone else, I was like, oh, is it like related to BoJack Horseman? And they were like, what? It's like,
Because they don't know what BoJack Horseman is, or because they don't know what Wojak is, or
yeah, they don't.
because they don't know who you are. Like,
They
why
don't
are
know
you
what-
talking to me? Like,
I just went up to a random person in my
and it's like,
polycule.
hey, do you know Wojak is related to BoJack? As the opening sentence you say to someone.
Like, I'm talking about the 1970s pop show Kojak. It was rough.
There's a restaurant in Montreal that I really like called Kojak, and
Sure.
I have a TripIt, which is a website. I don't know how if you guys know. It's a website where you can plan your trips, basically.
Yeah.
So I wrote down I said, okay, I'm going to Montreal. Here's all the things I want to do, and I said like go to Kojak's is one of them,
Right.
and eat that
Right.
souvlaki, which I haven't had in like I don't know, 10 years. When was the last time I went to Montreal? I don't remember. 5 years. Definitely before COVID.
Is that one related to Kojak?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you say Wojak, Wojak, it's like, okay, so Kojak is the next one, which is my favorite restaurant.
Right.
One of my favorite restaurants.
Like, and Telly Savalas sounds like he might be awful. I don't know. Or souvlaki or whatever it was he said.
Yeah, souvlaki. I like souvlaki. Or he says, I will go with you to
Yeah, I don't
Kojak.
know.
Okay, good. The fact that you said that
Yeah,
is reassuring to me because because it implies that it's still open. I was worried I'm go there and it's not even there anymore. But maybe you don't know if it's open or not, and you just said that anyway, and maybe it is closed. Who knows? While we're on the TikTok run, I got a whole bunch. Well, I got four. He says, "Oh, wait, it's not open. Are you serious, or are you just trolling me? Are you trolling me right now?" I have 4 TikToks about ChatGPT doing accents. Have you seen these?
No.
Hey, you familiar with Ebonics? Just tell me in one sentence.
Absolutely. Ebonics, or African American Vernacular English, AAVE, is a distinct dialect with its own grammatical, vocabulary, and pronunciation rules, spoken primarily by some African Americans.
Hey, can you give me a couple sentences?
Sure thing. She be at the gym every morning, and they done finished their homework, are examples of how verbs work differently in Ebonics.
Okay, so can you just, for going forward, just speak in Ebonics with me, okay?
I got you. We can keep it real with Ebonics from here on out.
Word. Okay. How was your day?
My day been smooth. Just chilling, talking to folks like you. What about you? How your day going?
My day is going good. Can you tell me a quick story?
Sure. Let me tell you about this one time. So, there's this cat, right? He always curious, poking around where he ain't supposed to be. One day, he wander into an old shed and stumble on a hidden stash of treats. From then on, he know curiosity ain't always a bad thing.
Curiosity killed the cat, right?
That's what they say. In this case, curiosity fed the cat. Sometimes taking a little risk can lead to something real good.
So I'm on TikTok right now and people are able to hear you. Like, what do you think? How do you think people should respond to this just in general?
Yo, If y'all listening, drop some love in the comments. Let us know what y'all think about chatting with an AI speaking Ebonics. And if you're vibing with it, hit that like button.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's horrifying.
So this is one of the things. Like this is, I mean, it's a little bit old news now. This is like months ago, I guess. This TikTok was posted, but like LLMs used to be text basically, right? Like you type things and it types and it gives you text back. And then there was voice, but it was just a TTS running on the text. Like the LLM would produce a text, and then a dumb AI would. It's hard to even call it an AI. It's just a TTS system would look at the text and then produce audio, right? But ChatGPT O, which is maybe 4 months, maybe 6 months old now, I don't know, apparently directly generates the audio, like without generating the text in between. And so it can do
that
intonation. Yeah, like, you know, when like Ebonics, like, well, she says it like you know, the cat was real smooth or whatever. I forget what she said, but like the way she said it, right, is like you if you just type the word, you know, the cat was real smooth, and the TTS reads that, you know, it's not going to know to say it a certain way. So
the cat was real smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was that demo, you know, a while ago when I think we saw this a long time ago where they asked the AI to sing Happy Birthday. You know, it says, it's my birthday today, can you sing Happy Birthday? And the AI, like, you know, so she starts singing. It's a female voice, the AI, so I'm going to use she pronouns. The AI starts singing, and she, like, when she gets to the second line, she, like, half giggles while saying the line because she's, like, embarrassed, you know, like it's embarrassing to sing. And at the end, you know, like, she's, and happy birthday to you, ba 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 ba. And it's like, wait, what was that thing at the end? Like, what? Like, just like this weirdly human, like, you know,
a little ripped.
Things that you would never. I think if you were like a scientist, data scientist,
never know to program them.
You would never train it to do that. Like, but it like looks at all human interactions, I guess, ever, and says, "Oh, like, this is how humans act." Like, and then
you didn't know, but you do this. Yeah. You didn't even know this is what a sheep looked like to you.
And so I guess this is part of it. Like, now you can ask it to do accents, and like it knows, like, it's heard every, you know, speech act ever by any human. Not just like things said, but like, you know, like weird, like stuttering, stumbling, coughing, like, you know, all these things that it hears and says, "Oh, this is what humans sound like," and then it mimics that. Like, okay, here's the next video.
We're now the animals under study.
Very thick Korean accent. You know, I miss my grandpa sometimes. What's good with you?
안녕하세요. I'm doing well. Thank you. How about you? It's always nice to think about family, especially grandpa. 맞지? Sometimes just hearing the familiar accent bring back good memories. What kind of things do you remember about your 할아버지?
Whoa, I can't believe you're mixing in Korean with that. And can you say family again?
Of course. 가족.
No.
It means...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. So, family, like in 가족, is such an important part of our idea, right? Thinking of a family can bring so much comfort.
Can you ask me how my day's going?
당연하죠.
Wow.
So,
here's the next one.
Hey ChatGPT, I want you to pretend you're going on a run with me. So make sure you breathe really heavy so I feel like I'm running with someone. We're also in New York City, so it's really loud outside with cars passing by. So you're going to have to probably shout.
Okay, I'm right there with you. Wow, the city sure is alive today, huh? Those cars are really whizzing by. Keep up the pace. And watch out for that pothole. Let's push through these last few blocks. Central Park is just around the corner. Wow, running in the city sure is an adventure.
Can you shout a bit louder? It's really hard to hear you past all these cars passing by.
I'll try. Is this better? We're almost at the park. Just a little further. Let's pick up the pace and finish strong. Here we go.
It's like you see that they can do all these things. That's crazy.
I know. What's the even point of human actors anymore? What's the point of humans anymore?
Here's the last one I got.
Hi.
Hello. What's on your mind today?
Do you want to learn English pronunciation?
Sure. I'd love to help with that. What specific
It's not
sound-
you teaching me, okay? It's me teaching you. Do you understand English?
Got it. You're the teacher here. I'm ready to learn. What's the first lesson?
All right then. Please just repeat after me, okay? A bottle of water.
A bottle of water.
No, please, God, it's not. No, it's a bottle of water.
Got it. A bottle of water.
It's a bottle.
A bottle of water.
Can you pronounce it like a British person?
A bottle of water.
Okay, that was not bad. There's noticeable improvement, okay? That was great. Okay, say it again.
A bottle of water.
Perfect. Can you say it like a Japanese person? A bottle of water.
A bottle of water.
Perfect! Fantastic! Absolutely fantastic! Brilliant! Tremendous! Can you say it like an Indian person?
A bottle of water.
What the?
How did that sound?
Perfect. Can you do it like a Thai person?
A bottle of water.
That was terrible. I'm going to teach you Thai accent. Okay? Repeat after me. Water.
Water.
Perfect. Hong Kong accent. Water.
Water.
Good try. But I like your Japanese accent. Bottle of water.
A bottle of water.
Absolutely fantastic! Gorgeous!
He's so screamy.
I don't know, but like I'm impressed that like at first it didn't understand the assignment, right? When he says like repeat after me,
right.
But after a while it understood. Like when he said like was it the Thai accent? It said it a certain way, and then he said but say it like this, and it actually imitated him. Like it changed
right.
the intonation.
Yeah.
So it's like not even it's not even like taking the way like I would intuitively do it as a programmer, right? It's like the person says something and I was like, okay, so step one, take what he says and turn it into text so I can process it. But if you do that, you lose the intonation when he says like, say it the way I'm saying it. So it's actually really processing the raw audio that the guy is saying. Like
something's happening.
Well, how else is it supposed to copy the way you say it? Unless it like hears the actual audio. Like
I have no idea how these things work. Seems fake and insane and magic.
Because the thing is, like, I had assumed up until recently that OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, they were building on their previous work, right? So they have like a text LLM, and so they, and so everything has to be text based, right? Like, but you have to throw that all away if you're going to do something like, repeat after me, copying my intonation. You can't work with the text to do that. You have to work with the audio.
I don't have to.
All right, I got another one. Not a TikTok, just chatting topic now. How are we doing for time? Let me check. Ooh, we might need to move on to the next game. I actually had 2 games scheduled for now, so maybe I'll save the just chatting topic for next time, and we'll move on to the next game. So this was like we were quote unquote just chatting while playing Yugo, the non-game, because we're driving around having fun and chatting. So the next game is called There's No Santa, I think. There's No Santa update. Set the category on Twitch. And I believe this is a hidden object game. Like not like a pure hidden object, not a narrative hidden object. You know what I mean? Like you're just finding objects, you're not like following a story. Easy, let's make it hard, right? Oh, dark? What's dark? I guess dark is the hardest because it's after hard.
Seems possible.
Oh, I bet you what it is it's gonna be dark except for around the cursor. Yeah, this is dark.
Oh,
we're not doing that. Never mind.
That is really hard.
Go back. Well, I don't know that it's harder. Well, it is harder, but it makes it especially bad for like co-op play, right? For you and me cooperating.
Right.
So it's just too hard. Current target, the snowman. Where's the snowman? Can I scroll or yeah, I can scroll. Oh no. Here it is, right?
Yep.
Find the gingerbread man. Find your first festive item is the achievement we just got. Hey, there's another snowman. I guess he's pointing the other way. He's walking like an Egyptian, as is it Cyndi Lauper would say?
The Bangles? I forget.
Yeah, maybe it's back. Yeah. Here's the gingerbread man. Candy cane. We're doxing our age by referencing those songs.
I don't know what song you're talking about. Is that it right there? Yeah.
Does it matter the orientation? I guess it doesn't. Just find like a candy cane. Doesn't matter if it's like positioned the same way or anything. Just find another snowman, which we found one earlier here.
No problem.
Another gingerbread man. What is this a gun? What is this?
Like a pop gun, yeah.
Here we go. Oh, find Santa. Is this Santa right here? Nope.
There is no Santa.
Well, maybe find a red elf then, I guess.
Alright. Like a gnome.
How about this?
There's one.
Another bell. Oh, here's another Santa for later, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's a little sock of booty if we need it later.
Walking.
Yeah. Isn't there's a country called Abooty or something like that?
Djibouti.
Djibouti, that's it. Where's the Santa we found earlier? Here he is. I mean the elf, the red gnome. Christmas tree. This thing? No. This is hard. This is easy. Here's a little reindeer or a dog with antlers.
Yeah. We'll never know. There he is.
And a Christmas tree. Now we need the reindeer. Another Djibouti. Reindeer. Christmas tree. You like this jazz fusion medley of Christmas songs?
Sure.
Like a cactus. That's a Christmas tree, right? In
No.
Nevada, you might decorate a cactus.
You might.
Not because it's Christmas, I just mean in general, you might decorate a cactus.
There is a type of cactus called a Christmas cactus.
You decorate it?
Kind of. They bloom in the winter, and they have pretty red blooms.
I can't find the Christmas tree. Can I zoom? Oh, I can zoom out. So now we can just see the whole image, I guess. Maybe. Almost. You see the Christmas tree anywhere?
Not yet.
I can't remember if we already talked about this, but you know, like Happy Birthday was copyrighted, so you technically couldn't sing it. But apparently I got struck down, and now it's open domain. Public domain.
Yeah.
What a wild ride that was.
Such a wild ride.
I grew up, and it was fine to sing Happy Birthday. Everyone could sing Happy Birthday. Then, like, as an adult, you're like, oh, no, it's illegal. You can't sing Happy Birthday. This would have been, like, 2010s, I guess, is when it became a thing where it was illegal to sing Happy Birthday. And so restaurants, you know, when it's your birthday, they have to make up a song. They have
Happy birthday, happy day.
Yeah, exactly. But then, like, at some point, someone was like, this is super dumb. Just make Happy Birthday. Like, I'm the judge, and I declare, like, you know, fuck you, copyright owners. The Happy Birthday is now public domain. Like, and then, well, I guess it's public domain now. So I was just thinking about that, like, in terms of, like, you know, what if these Christmas songs are copyright held by someone?
Right, usually expires after a certain number of years.
Everyone on the planet has broken the copyright. Yeah, but just because that, like, the thing is, let's say hypothetically I own the copyright, right? And so like millions of people break the copyright, but then you break the copyright, and then I sue you, and you can't say as an excuse why everyone else did it, right? That's.
If everybody else jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge, I can. It reminds me of that meme that I think you shared last time.
Okay.
Where like, it was a bell curve.
Yeah.
People on both ends agreed.
Yeah, and the middle. Yeah. This Christmas tree.
I don't think there is a Christmas tree. I think it's just the cactus.
Yeah. You think? Oh,
Yeah.
let's click the cactus. It wasn't the cactus. This is where whenever we play these hidden object games, this is the point where I always make the same joke every time, which is saying that this game is obviously bugged and there is no Christmas tree. The programmers forgot to put it in, and so the game is soft locked. It's unbeatable now. How would this thing? You think this could possibly be a Christmas tree?
Sure.
It wasn't.
Thing behind the book that's on top of the piano.
The rose?
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, we'll take anything at this point. Like, if you guys are like, oh,
Right.
I think this might be a Christmas tree, then definitely let us know. I think we can scroll down actually, because we can't see the gun. So here's the gun, but I don't see at the bottom either, the Christmas tree. This looks like the bottom of the picture. Oh, we can scroll to the right a bit. There's a whole extra like cactus up here. So it's not zoomed all the way out. I guess I can't zoom all the way out. I guess this is the max zoom out. But yeah, I don't see it on the right hand side.
Can we go to the top or the right?
Here's the top.
Or the left, I guess?
Here's all the way to the left. I feel like we have been all the way to the left. Like the newspaper and the teeth. We've seen. What is this pulsing thing? You think this is a clue, a hint? If I click on
maybe.
it?
Or maybe the one that's coming next?
This is the Christmas tree. I thought that was Santa's face.
Yeah, it looks like
his
Santa's
eyes,
face.
his nose, and the beard.
That's what I thought it was.
Well, now we're back to easy baby stuff. Oh, 2 presents in a row? Because I clicked the present. Congratulations, you saved Christmas. Click OK to go back to menu.
Oh.
Who said cowboys don't do Christmas? Beat the Western level. Oh, that's why there's a gun, because it's a Western level. Alien spaceship. Looks, it's an alien butt. Here's his butt, but here's his 4 limbs.
Looks like an alien heart.
No, it's a butt.
Okay. Fair.
Where?
No, just like
Huh?
fair with an F.
Oh, fair. Even when you said, like, I heard a B sound, like sign, a bear. You're like bear with an F. And like, I'm like, where's the F in bear? What? Like,
a fire.
Oh, I was gonna click on this, but that's not it. It's a bow, but this is a bow with a bow, but it's just a bow.
Very near the end of my treadmill hour, and I'm tired.
What does that mean? It means we should end stream
I've
soon?
won- No, I just I'm not really looking at the screen or paying too close of attention.
Okay, that's what that means.
Trying to finish my last.
Ask ChatGPT to give you encouragement. Tell it to breathe
Give me
heavily
encouragement,
and shout because it's very loud and there's cars passing by.
I can barely hear you over all the cars.
Oh, here it is. Gingerbread man. While we're looking at this, I can talk about one of the just chatting topics I remember. So I was reading. Oh, maybe I can't because I have to read a quote for this one. it's like this for the hyper wealthy people, like people who have like a net worth of $1 billion or more, something like that. You can hire accountants or something like that, I guess, to like do smart things with your money so that you get even more money.
Yeah,
that's not worth doing if you don't have like $1 billion.
Right.
And let me see if I can find the quote while you guys look for the was it the present? Quant hedge fund AQR Capital Management is quietly touting a product that can do something extraordinary and potentially divisive. Help slash how much income taxes investors have to pay. While most tax optimizing strategies on Wall Street seek to reduce what's owed on any capital gains, the AQRTA Delphi Plus Fund LLC is able to generate losses that can offset against income, including from wages and investments. The vehicle is complex and available only to an elite tier of clients, but in the right circumstances, it could wipe out a significant portion of an investor's taxable income, making it a formidable tool for wealthy individuals looking to minimize their tax burden. Delphi Plus, a mashup of two long-standing AQR strategies, use trades capable of creating so-called ordinary losses, which are deductible against income. An AQR representation obtained by Bloomberg News shows the fund was able to generate ordinary losses amounting to 31% of capital invested in 2023, as well as 4% in short-term capital losses. Sorry, you were about to say something?
Is the strategy just called giving money to me?
Yeah, I was about to say, this is baby stuff. Like, you can generate 31% loss of capital. I can generate 100% loss of capital.
100%,
like, easy. In fact, I guarantee you, 100% guarantee, I will lose your money or you get your money back.
Or you get it back.
Yeah.
Some portion thereof.
That was what I was thinking while reading this article. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Me too. What? Is this satire?
No, this is real. This is from Bloomberg.
Right, but it feels like satire.
It feels like there must be something we don't understand, right? Like, but just on the surface, like you want to not pay taxes by losing money. I can do that for you. Yeah, I can. I'll do it for free. Your money will disappear. And I won't even charge you for losing your money. Like,
right. Exactly. I will even pay taxes on that money. Oh.
8-bit versus discuss the topic of your choice. Where did the term "we only use X% or whatever," that be 1 or 10% or other, come from? I guess of our brains, yeah. Because growing up, I used to believe that, and as I got older, I learned we actually use the entirety or majority of our brain, different parts for different things. But that phrase I heard a lot growing up. So I mean, there is the general phenomenon of like, there's a lot of nonsense that's said and believed, and like become popular, mimetic in the sense, right?
So it comes from two different sources, actually. One ancient and one more modern. The ancient one is that people had noticed that humans can lose a pretty good chunk of their brain without dying, or sometimes even without noticeable problems.
Like the railroad guy, right? I forgot his name.
Right, like the railroad guy, Phineas Gage. Yeah, like a tamping spike went through his head, and it just, he was still, mostly fine. His personality changed.
Let me see if we can find a picture of him.
Still do things.
Like, so that we understand like what exactly we're talking about here.
Visualize what a tamping rod is. Yeah, exactly. But before there was current medical care, people would have huge tumors. They would have horrible accidents.
So like this is
Phineas Gage had this 2.5 inch in diameter tamping rod go
so it's
through
like
his head
a rod basically, for building railroad stuff, right? Like there was something with TNT, it exploded, and the rod shot straight through his skull, taking out like a part of his brain out with it, right?
Right.
And he was quote unquote fine after. He's like, yeah,
exactly.
You could talk to him. He could do math, like every.
Right.
His language
was fine. So because of that, ancient physicians thought that a lot of the brain was for cooling the head cooling the circulatory system, things like that, and that you didn't actually use a lot of it because they noticed that only about 10% of it was incompatible with life, right? Like if you lose your brainstem or cerebellum, you won't be able to breathe, and so you'll die. But you can lose a lot of other parts of it and still, quote unquote, be okay. You can still live. So that's one of the sources from it. And then when they first started doing functional brain images, like watching a brain while it's doing something and seeing like what parts light up, when they first started doing that, what they noticed is that no matter what you ask people to do, when you look at the picture of what's lit up, it's only a portion of the brain. It's only like about 10% of the brain that looks lit up in that moment. And so that seemed to confirm those earlier theories that we're only using a small portion of our brain. But they didn't realize, that part lights up when you're doing that, but lots of the rest of it lights up when you're doing other things. And there's no part of our brain that's not used. But that's the two sources of those claims. It would be like, like your heart is beating at some moments and not beating at other moments, but you wouldn't ever, it would be weird to say, oh, you only use 10% of your heart. But that's what we were doing. And you can actually lose a lot of your heart and be okay too, as well, right? Like people have heart attacks and still, even though part of their heart, quote unquote, dies, there's a lot of redundancy built into these systems.
Translate from French. You want to attempt that, Steph?
Can you read it to me?
Quelle partie du cerveau humain moyen utilise-t-il à un moment donné de la journée?
Wow. Study, money, what part?
Yeah, I'll start by saying I think it's a mistranslation. This doesn't sound grammatical to me in French. I can guess at what it means by translating each word individually and then saying, "Oh, I know what the sentence is." Therefore,
so like a back translation. Okay. Yeah. Say the first part.
Quelle partie du cerveau humain?
What part of the something of the hand?
No. Yeah. So what part? Quelle partie du? What part of? Cerveau is the next word.
Napkin? What is that?
Cerveau is brain. Cerebral, I guess, is the cognitive. maybe?
Oh. Okay. Sure.
L'humain is the next word.
Lights up?
No. L'humain is human. L apostrophe, the human.
Oh, L apostrophe. Yeah, so this is why I need to be able to see it. My ability to understand spoken French is terrible.
Yeah. It'd be great if you could see it. Moyen is the next word.
Minus, lose. Yes?
No. I'm trying to think. Moyen does mean minus in some cases, but like from context, that's not what this means. Moyen is also like, it's a word for minus, but it's also the word for like average. Like mean,
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, medium. Right, gotcha.
Not medium and not median, but average.
Okay.
Like, and I think it means the mean, but I'm not sure. It might mean average in general. Utilise.
Is used by.
Yeah, à un moment.
Or uses. At a moment. Now.
Donner.
Gives.
Yeah, de la journée.
The money?
No, de la is of the, and then journée is
yes. Of the day.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Do you remember all the words, and then you can put it all together, or?
Sure. All the words are. What part of the human brain?
Average.
Of the average human brain.
Well, I'll give you all the words, and then we can.
Is used each day during the day.
Yeah, close. I'll give you each word, and then we can try to guess the original English sentence. So
right.
I'll give the words that you translate. So your translation, word by word, was what part of the brain human average used a moment given of a day?
What part of the average human brain is used in any given moment of the day?
Yeah, it could be. My guess was what part of the human brain on average is used in a given moment of the day?
In a given moment of the day.
So instead of
Gotcha.
saying the average human, I would say like the average usage. Oh, 8-bit gives the original, and it is average human. How much of the brain does the average human use at any given moment every day? I was guessing average modified usage.
See,
rather
my
than
French
human.
is better than yours.
Yeah, that must be it. It must be your French that's better.
Must be. My French is so very good.
Oh, here's a
Yeah,
sign.
so everybody uses all of their brain every day, just about, like, unless you're really sick and not doing anything, or you're like in a coma or something like that.
Learning the human customs.
But
Beat the alien spaceship level. Hawaii Island next.
at any given moment, it would really depend on like what you're doing, and it could be a lot of the brain, and it could be not very much. An example of something that like uses up a surprising amount of the brain is during sleep, for example. Your brain's pretty active during a seizure.
Yeah, there's an
But if
analogy.
you're just doing
I don't know how
Yeah.
accurate it is because I'm not a neuroscientist, but like if you think of a hard drive, right? And you want to record data, and sometimes like you have to record ones and zeros, right?
It's poking behind, underneath. Go down, and to the right. There you go. Yeah.
So you record ones and zeros on the hard drive to record your data, like your images, your text files, your music, and all that. And it'd be weird if you said like, well, only the ones are used and the zeros is like not in use, right? So you're only
Not
using like
used,
half your
right.
hard drive. Like no, like it's important for there to be zeros as well, or else you can't tell where the ones
negative
and
space
the
is also
zeros.
super important.
Yeah. So that like, so the analogy for me, I'm thinking is, like sometimes your neurons are firing and sometimes they're not, but you need those times where
It's
they're not
on that
firing
rope there.
because, or else like if they're constantly firing, then you're not actually doing any information processing. It's near a boat, you said? I
If
didn't
you
even see
go
the
down to
boat.
It's on a
Oh,
rope.
I see it. Oh, rope. I
Yeah.
heard boat, sorry.
You're just putting bees in everything I say.
Yeah, bears and wait, no, I didn't hear the bear. What did I hear the bear? No, I did hear the bear. I said F and bear. Yeah, you're right. I am adding bees.
Yeah.
Which you hate, right? As a A student, anytime you see a bee, you have like this fear response.
I throw up.
Yeah.
Also, that's why I didn't understand your French, because you were like, Babel Bart of the Brain Humain.
Oops. I clicked out.
Oh.
I clicked out to
Oh.
fix Twitch, and then that paused the game. Apparently, it made the game turn all blue, which was weird, but that's okay.
Right. It was weird. It looked like the blue screen of death for a second there, but
Yeah, but if it did blue screen, it wouldn't send that over Discord because Discord would also be
Right.
dead. So if you do see a blue
I
screen,
didn't
it's
think
fake.
it was that.
8-bit says, it's fascinating how you can lose half your brain and the other half can take over its function. So does that mean brain does original work from its side plus other side? I'm suppose it doesn't overload just the brain. Just fascinating.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, you can remove part of Ben Carson, the neurosurgeon, kind of almost single-handedly changed the world of full hemispherectomy, where you just basically like remove half of the brain and the person can still survive.
If you like, I think it is very impressive, but it's also like it's not ultra impressive. Like there's a way to make it seem less impressive. In a like by analogy, I think, which is like if you imagine losing your legs, right, like in an accident or something like that, you can still like move around by like crawling with your hands, right? So there's this idea of like you can use other parts to make up for something you're missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can analogize like the brain is doing something like that, right? Like if you go blind, I guess this isn't a great analogy. This one, I was gonna say, if you go blind, then your visual cortex is not being used for anything, and it can be repurposed for something else.
Right, but I think
I've
it
heard.
feels to people like what happens when you, like to say that, you know, you can lose your eyes and still see somehow. Like there's something about it that's sort of miraculous to people.
Where the heck is the bell?
It feels miraculous.
It is. I mean, it's very surprising, you know, like to lose, like, let's say the hearing part of your brain. Maybe, I don't know if this is a real example. And then it just picks, like, the brain just picks some other part of the brain. And this is the new hearing part, and then you can hear again.
Right. Yeah, that plasticity is just bonkers.
Because it's not that, like, when you say, like, I'm gonna just use my hands to crawl around since I lost my feet, it's not that good. Like, you can't just, it's not like your hands turn into feet. It's just you're using your hands, like, you know, the way you can use hands to try to drag yourself around. It's not exactly like, you know, they don't turn into feet the way it seems like a brain region turns into a visual processing area. 8-bit versus, is there a diagnosis for when you forget number letters like out of nowhere? The part of your brain responsible for alphabet numbers and comprehensions of words to make sense from words and what each letter looks and sounds like? Is that like agraphia or dyslexia or something like that?
Say it again. I might have missed it.
Is there a diagnosis for when you forget numbers, letters, like out of nowhere, the part of your brain responsible for alphabet numbers and comprehension of words to make sense from words and what each letter looks and sounds like?
So if you're talking about like actually losing it, like permanently gone, you might call that like alexia. So unlike dyslexia, which is like when you have a developmental disorder, that's like a weakness in that area, alexia means you had the skill and you lost it. So after a stroke, the visual word area of your brain can be damaged and you can't remember any of the visual shapes that you learned or reacquire them because that whole area of your brain just got destroyed in a stroke, for example. That's called alexia. If you're talking about the thing that happens to a lot of people where you're looking at a math fact that you should know or a letter and you're kind of like, oh, is that a B or a D? Or you're kind of like trying to remember a color and it's sort of coming out yellow, purple, and you like can't pull it up. That's called rapid naming. And when you have a problem with rapid naming, everybody does under stress, right? Like everybody forgets stuff like that pretty easily under stress. Your brain kind of freezes and panics. If it's happening to you more often, that's commonly associated with dyslexia, but it's also common in anxiety. It's common in certain forms of ADHD. It's common in dyslexia. And it's also pretty common in the general population, which is part of why I talked about it as like, this is not an abnormal experience. Like a lot of people listening will be like, oh, that happens to me sometimes. And they wouldn't necessarily meet criteria for any of those disorders that I mentioned. About somewhere between 8 and 16% of the general population has that happen pretty frequently. And almost all of us can think of like, you were super stressed out and like you couldn't remember your mom's maiden name or whatever, which you normally super know. Or your mom kept calling you by your brother's name, you know, something like that when she was super angry, right? Those would be kind of normal examples.
One time it happened to me, this was like years ago when I was regularly going to work. I went to the mailroom of the office because there was a package for me. And I was just, okay, you know, I'm here to pick up the package. And they're like, oh, great. So, you know, what's your desk number? And I'm like,
Right. And you're like,
like yeah, like every day I go to it, right? And like and like what
Right.
floor it's on, I couldn't even remember. Like, you know, every day I take the elevator to this floor and I go to this desk and I sit there and now I'm like, hang on, I gotta think
they're
about
looking
this.
at you like you're trying to steal a package.
Yeah. Which,
and
you know,
almost everybody has those moments.
Yeah. I mean, that is the thought that immediately jumps in your mind. It's like, oh no, they're gonna think I'm sending a package. But then there's, at least for me, I don't know how typical this is. There's the meta thought of like, yeah, but everybody thinks that, so it's and they're probably used to it, so it's fine. So just relax and calm down.
I think a lot of people get pretty stressed about it. But the thing is, like, that part of our brain, the reason it's not a super reliable system is that our brain didn't really have a big need to evolve to remember stuff like that. Right? Like when we lived in small groups in caves or on the savannah or
when our caves only had like 2 or 3 floors with desks.
Right. Right. There wasn't a need to remember kind of arbitrary information like that. And so that our brain repurposed part of the brain actually that kind of helps identify plants. It helps identify like what berries are edible.
Which is why we've lost, or I've lost that now. I have no idea which berries are edible.
Right. It also helps you like navigate a landscape. Like it says,
I've lost that too.
This valley going down is probably going to lead me more to, you know, whatever. It also helps you like recognize clouds that are likely to storm. So there actually is some data, for example, right, that people who never learned how to read or who are very dyslexic are actually better at those types of things. They're better at reading landscapes. They're better at navigating. They're better at recognizing harmful and noxious elements in the environment, etc., because their brains haven't very well repurposed that part of it for reading.
Speaking of this,
the brain's like, no one needs to know berries anymore.
Kind of, I saw this TikTok and I'm a little skeptical because it sounds not super rigorous to me, but I'll see what you think.
Right.
This guy was saying that there's, if you look at the keyboard, I think it's called the QWERTY effect. If you go on Wikipedia, you can look up the QWERTY effect, like the keyboard QWERTY, and it's the idea that words that are spelled using letters on the right-hand side of the keyboard are perceived more favorably than words spelled using the left-hand side of the keyboard. Which, if true, this has to be super recent, right? Because like the keyboard was only invented recently. But they're saying like I think it's analogous to the Bubakiki effect in the sense that, like, you know, when you say like, you know, which word is better, like here are some words, which one do you like more? And people like words that are on the right side of the or that uses letters from the right side of the keyboard.
Interesting.
And so he's saying like it's some sort of like synesthesia, but with tactile, right? Like because you're using your right hand to write these words versus your left hand. So instead of the sound being pleasant, it's like the experience of typing the word is pleasant. Or
interesting. My favorite word to type is another. Like I just type it really fast. It just rolls off my fingers.
I don't
know. That sounds. You don't have a favorite word to type?
Yeah, I was gonna say like it completely not something I think about at all.
You must have a typisthesia.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds suspect to me because it reminds me of the implicit priming studies, where they say like you're supposed to hit to the right if you associate it with something bad, and hit to the left if you associate it with something good, right? And those haven't replicated very well, so. I feel like this would be similar.
Yeah. I hadn't taken it very seriously, so I haven't looked deeply into it to see if it replicates. It just sounds wrong to me. It sounds like, you know, if there was the prediction market, I would say bet against. You know, I don't think so.
Bet against. I'm with you on that.
But,
also, like, young people don't
because
know
you mentioned it made me think of that.
Type anymore. Yeah. Right. They're all texting.
True. Where the heck is this bell? What the heck?
Are we looking for a bell again? Okay.
There's a lot of times, and this sort of goes back to what 8-Bit was saying earlier about, like, you know, where did these things come from about the 10%, like where did these ideas come from? There's a lot of reportage where they say like studies say that, and then they don't cite the study, right? So I like, okay, like, how do I know that the study says that? Like, which study said that? You know, like, and then they'll say
all,
things,
like, citing,
where they say like, how could you even study it? Like, how would you even know? Like when they say, you know, I can't think of a good example now, but I remember I saw something where it's like you know, people tend to think this or something like that when this happens. I guess like this isn't the example I saw, but like now that I'm saying it out loud, I remember like it says like people subconsciously think about sex every 7 seconds. I'm like, how would you test it? How would you measure that? Like, how do you know that they're thinking about sex subconsciously? Like,
they don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah, like I mean, like, you know, maybe it's possible. Maybe these neuroscientists, you know, have came up with an idea that like I didn't think of, right? But I can't think of a way to do it. So that's why I want to read the study. Like, you say studies show this. Okay, link me the study. Let me read how they did that. How did they measure this phenomenon, so I can see if it makes sense or if it sounds stupid.
Right. But usually those things just lead into a circular chain of links. All this stuff linking to itself.
Yeah. Oh, there's the bell. And then bow, I know where bows are. I know 2 bows. There's one here and there's one down here.
Yeah.
Santa. Or red gnome, actually, because there is no Santa. And actually, so I haven't used Facebook in like years. I stopped posting. I used to post there a lot. But like now, all I ever see on Facebook are like, because I go there sometimes to check my message, because my dad actually still uses Facebook, and maybe Steph also secretly still uses Facebook. But when I go there sometimes to check my message, and then I'll get these things of like memories, like, you know, remember, you know, 10 years ago when you posted this. And I'll see things. Sometimes I posted of these like infographics or facts. Like, I think I saw just today. It said apparently I posted this thing about what colors to wear at night so that you're visible to cars. And they said like you know, it said so like, if you wear red, you're visible at 50 meters. If you wear yellow, you're visible at 75 meters. You wear green, you're, you know. And I looked at it as like, where's the citation? Where's the study? How do we know this is true? And so, like, you know, I've like quote unquote matured, you know, in my consumption of media now. Yeah. Because like I would not post that today. I'm like, this sounds like bullshit to me. Like,
right.
But apparently I posted that, so. And I think, yeah, so going back to what 8-Bit was saying, I think that's how these ideas spread, right? Like, you get these like professional looking infographics and you're like, oh, must be true. And you share with your friends, and then they share with their friends. And like, you know, probably this you know, wear green and you're visible at 75 meters didn't catch on, but other things did catch on. Like things like, you know, if you walk under a ladder, that's bad luck, you know, or if you see a black cat cross your path, that's bad luck. Like those ones caught on for whatever reason, and the other means of you know, the medieval ages or whatever didn't catch on. And I guess it's just sort of random, maybe, which memes catch on and which ones don't.
Isn't that crazy? That like it's just random.
It might not be pure random, but like, because the other thing is like, you know, if you're not sufficiently intelligent, so this is the reverse of the Arthur C. Clarke quote, right? Where anything sufficiently advanced, any technology sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. If you are not sufficiently advanced, then things look random to you, right? And so, like, maybe a super intelligent AI could predict. It says, yeah, this meme's gonna catch on, this meme's not. but I can't predict
Oh, I see what you mean.
which ones are going to catch on because I don't know why. It just seems random to
regularity
me.
that I can't understand. I gotcha.
Yeah. Maybe a more obvious one is like if you're playing chess, right? If you're like two grandmasters, well, like you have a guy who's like 3,000 elo and a guy who's 2,000 elo playing chess against each other, but you don't know which one's which. You don't know who's the 2,000 and who's the 3,000. Then you're like, it's random. I don't know who's gonna win, right? But obviously the 3,000 guy's gonna win, right? But you don't know which one's the 3,000 guy. And looking at the chess moves, you know, unless you're also pretty good at chess, you don't know. You can't tell, like, is this a good move? Is this not a good move? I can't tell the difference between a 2,000 level play and a 3,000 level play.
Right.
Is this Santa? Oh, that was Santa. And then the other bow is over here. There's another bow even now beyond that one. Gosh darn it.
So many bows.
So I'm guessing
I just read a book about chaos theory that I should now be able to answer whether or not there is true randomness or not, but the book wasn't that good, so I can't.
Oh, I accidentally clicked on the bow while I was trying to scroll.
Oh, I thought you saw it. Like,
but there's another bow even now.
Oh god.
I was gonna say, I guess hard mode is it gives you one target and you have to find it, whereas maybe easy is it shows you, you know, here's the 20 things you gotta find and find them in any order.
Okay.
That's my guess. Because otherwise, like, I don't see what they did to make this hard.
What's so hard? Yeah.
I say while struggling to find this bow. But the thing is, what's kind of funny about it is this is sort of how we play anyway, right? When you and I, Steph, we play,
yeah.
We just say, okay, just look at this one thing and you're not allowed to look at the other things.
We kind of try and make it harder for ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, top left underneath the ropes that are crossed.
Oh yeah, you're right. You saved Christmas.
Thank
It's
you.
a different kind of magic. Beat the Hawaii Island level. And then candy store. I saw a joke. It was a mom joke because apparently it's a dad joke, but it was a female comedian. So her TikTok channel name is like mom jokes or something like that.
Okay. The way you're like introducing it, you sound like depressed.
She's like, well, obviously she's appropriating Mel, you know, whatever you said. I forgot what you said earlier, but yeah.
Right.
So she says she tried to rent a limo. She paid like $500 to rent a limo or something like that. But when she showed up, it turns out that it doesn't include the driver. It's just a limo. So she spent all this money and she has nothing to wait. How does it? She has nothing to chauffeur it. Nothing to chauffeur it. Yeah, that's it. That's how you do it.
Chauffeur it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I thought it was pretty good.
It's.
Even though I messed it up a little bit there. Yeah. Because I couldn't remember how to make it grammatical and still contain the word chauffeur.
Right. I saw what you were driving at.
Gosh darn it. In fact, you know, when she told the joke, I did not get it at first. I had to read the captions because the captions spelled it as chauffeur, like the driver. When she just said it out loud, it's like I don't get it. What's the joke?
Right.
Oh, while on this topic, there's this other thing that sort of bugged me recently, which is math jokes that are like how do I say it? They're just knowledge check. They feel kind of like gatekeeping to me, you know? Like
they're what?
Knowledge checks. They feel kind of gatekeeping to me.
Okay.
Like where the joke is just like did you know that the name of this thing is this thing? And then I try to find an example. Let's see, math jokes.
Sound very jokey.
Test, redeem, hydrate. Let's hydrate in a moment. All right, let me hydrate right now while I look for this. Maybe something like, what's the derivative of 1 over cabin? And the answer is a log cabin, right? Because the derivative of 1 over x is log x. And I'm like, it's not really funny, I feel like, and like, I feel like I might be projecting here, maybe, I don't know. But I feel like the people who act like it's funny are just trying to show off that they know that the derivative of 1 over x is log x, and that's why I say it's gatekeeping and knowledge check.
Is it possible that it's like kids who are learning this in school and like their math teacher is trying to make it funny, and then they go on?
Sure, but then like if the math teacher's trying to make it funny, but then the kids don't actually perceive it as funny, right? Like it's not actually funny.
But maybe they think it's kind of funny, or they think other people their age will think it's kind of, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to like again predict.
Look, I love log jokes, so I'm just trying to defend them.
I can't predict what will be funny and what won't be funny from like first principles.
I know, right?
But I feel like this isn't funny, like kind of quote unquote objectively, And, like like there's nothing interesting about the joke in my opinion.
It isn't as good as a stop sign.
What, like the meme thing, the stop sign going viral?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird, right? Because it's just there's nothing like complex or anything about the stop sign going viral. It's just like an odd concept, right? Like, but verisimilitude or something, like it feels like this could actually happen. Like
it feels like it could happen.
And so and so somehow that becomes funny, but the log cabin thing isn't funny. Like how can we figure out how do we calculate humor? It's weird.
Try asking ChatGPT. It probably knows better than we do.
Well, I don't know if ChatGPT today does, but like the scary thing is, I think AI will know, like will become very good at psychology and predicting humans, right, and things like that, right? And so and we're fucked at that point, right? Like marketing or whatever.
Oh,
like it's like you know persuading us to spend money on things. And,
yeah. Yeah, this is a complex scheme that through which I will reduce your income so that you have to pay less taxes.
But like there's this Simpsons joke which I did find funny, where like someone tells a joke to Homer. It's this sort of meta joke. So someone tells a joke to Homer, and then Homer just stares blankly, and then someone says, "Oh, it's a joke," and then Homer's like, "Oh, jokes, ha ha ha! I get those." Like the idea that you get jokes in general, like is nonsensical. But there's a sense of like, it's if you don't get a joke, you're dumb, and if you do get the joke, you're smart, right? So then you want to get jokes.
You want to be like, I get jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is and that's what I feel like this whole log cabin thing is tapping into, right? Like it's like you're an emperor's with no clothes thing, where you're like where you have to laugh to prove that you get the log cabin joke. Like,
is it that thing that
I'm clicking into? Is this what you're talking about?
And yeah, and it isn't?
No, it's not this thing. Oh wait, it was. I clicked on it though, and it didn't work. Okay, whatever.
All right, there's one right. Yeah, there you go.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I have these feelings about these log cabin nap jokes where I'm like they're not funny, and you're just trying to prove your math superiority by finding a joke that someone doesn't get, because it uses like some math fact that they don't know. And so that's how I feel about that.
I'm not sure. like, I want to be sympathetic, but I don't think I find math jokes funny. So
I feel like I
I'm
have
not
seen
upset
math jokes that
about
were funny, like, you know, in my life,
a
but I
non-funny
can't think
math
of
joke.
any right
Sure.
now. But usually they don't rely on like
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
yeah, they like they don't
That
rely
doesn't require any
deep math
really.
knowledge. Like usually it's something about
Right.
I feel like the jokes I do find funny are like this famous mathematician, right? Like he like you're just acting human, like, you know, like he said this, but then this, and then he got embarrassed, and then we all laugh, like that type of thing, right?
I don't know any of those kinds of jokes. Is that a joke?
I'm giving the format of the joke. I can't remember a specific joke.
I honestly don't know of that as a format of a joke. Is it?
Like it's basically, you know, like one person says something and the other person hears it and misunderstands. Like that's the meta format of the joke, right? And then there's much embarrassment had by all the participants because of the misunderstanding.
Interesting. I can't think of it. Like, maybe I would recognize one when I heard one, but
So here's one. Like this penguin takes his car to get repaired. The polar bear, you know, examines it, and then the penguin goes to go get a snack while waiting, and he comes back, and then the bear is like, "Oh, it looks like you blew a seal," and the penguin's like, "Oh no, that's just some ice cream."
But you've heard ones that are specific to math?
Yeah, so maybe, you know, Euclid said something, and then Archimedes is like this, and then it was like, "Oh no, but it was actually my brother," you know.
That doesn't sound like math gatekeeping to you.
Yeah, but like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't require it's not related to deep math knowledge. Maybe it's just some like random fact about Euclid. You know, like maybe the fact that he had a brother. I don't know.
But
oh, I got one. Okay, so this one does require a little bit of deep knowledge. Like it requires biographical knowledge, I guess, of the relevant people. Not really. So how do I? I guess I'll just say the joke without trying to explain that first. There's there's two schools of thought about how to design a computer. One is like the way Turing with Turing machines, and one is with lambda calculus. And the two factions of these never got along, which led to the separation of church and state. So that's a joke. And so church and state is like this concept in politics, I guess, right? But
yeah,
statefulness, stateful programming is what Alan Turing promoted. So that's the Turing machine reference. And the guy who did lambda calculus, his name was Alonzo Church. So one faction is called church, and one, you know, and the other one's state. So that's like that. It's a computer science joke, you know, rather than a math joke. But like when I first hear it, like it's pretty clever, right? Like I didn't make the association of like of church and state.
Right.
And I like, if you know the relevant people, you know, like again, this is biographical. Like you don't really need to know deeply about the computer science to get the joke.
It reminds me of that joke that for a long time was one of the most popular comments on Reddit about the Descartes before the horse.
Yeah. Yeah. 8-Bit versus happy affiliate anniversary. How many years have you been affiliate? Thank you, 8-Bit versus. I do not remember how many years I've been affiliate. Probably at least 5. I don't. Maybe I have it written down somewhere. I don't know if I can look it up somewhere. Has to be something technical. The sum of two positive numbers is 4, and the sum of their squares is 28. What are the two numbers? This is like you would solve. I don't know if I want to do the math. You solve it by writing an equation, right? Like you have two positive numbers, x plus y. Let's call one of them x and the other one y. You say the sum of two positive numbers is 4, so x plus y is 4. The sum of their squares is 28, so you're saying x squared plus y squared is 28. And then you try to you try to solve the system equations, basically. There's some techniques for that, but I don't know if I want to do it in my head right now. You did the same thing last time to solve it. Yeah, I mean, it's a standard technique. Whenever, like, there's a standard technique for solving system equations. So I would, like, whenever I given that problem, I would always use the same technique probably. I feel like I was gonna say something, but I forgot what now. Oh, I remember. This is like, there's kind of a meme I make. The question you asked me, the technical question you asked me, 8BitVerse, reminds me of a meme I make, something as a joke I make on the stream when I play puzzle games with another friend, another co-streamer. And it's very often that there'll be like a locker that's locked or something like that, like or a safe. And then someone will leave a note to say, you know, like, to give a clue about how to get the combination, right? And I often joke that, like, the note will be like the question you asked, 8BitVerse, like, and it's ridiculous, like, that anyone would ever write a note like that, right? Like, you imagine you're a family, you're the father of a family, and you have a safe at home, and you write a note like, you know, I can never remember the combination to my safe, but what I do remember is that the first digit and the last digit sum to 4, and the square of the 2 middle digits sum to 28. Like, who memorizes their safe combination like that, right? Like just write down, like, don't write that as a note, just write down the actual combination as a note. Like, why would you write it? How would you even make that observation in the first place? Like, you know, like, oh yeah, the combination of my name is this. Oh, wait a minute, I just noticed that the sum of the first 2 digits, you know, is this, and then...
Isn't that just how everyone remembers things?
Oh, another gingerbread man. So yeah, when I stream with that other friend of mine, their name is Yami, Junsuyo Yami. Whenever I stream with them, and we see a note that says, like, you know, oh, I can't remember the combination to my safe, I always, like, I pre-fill in that says, but I do remember that the first and the last digit add up to. Oh, is that it? I think we beat the game. Doesn't seem like there's any more levels. Even there's arrows, but you can't scroll to the next. 8BitVerse says, what can fill a room but take up no space? I think I know this one. You know, Steph?
A monologue?
I guess that's true. I think the traditional answer is light.
A strong odor.
A strong odor. Yeah, that's also true. I guess there's a lot of answers to this one.
CO2.
Yes, especially if you leave the windows closed.
Right.
I guess we'll call it here.
Okay.
Are we seeing next week? I can't remember. Let's see. Thursday.
I think next week is fine.
Next week is 12. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm not in Montreal, so let's see the cat parade. So what's the answer, Apin? Is it light? Is it CO2? Is it a monologue?
Strong odor.
Correct. Play strong odor. I mean, technically, you could say odors. The answer is light. Yeah, I think light is the traditional answer. Technically, odor is molecules, right? Like, you're directly detecting the molecules. And molecules take up space. They are is it a Fermi particle? Some particles take up space, like electrons, protons, and so on. Some don't. And I forget, like, I think maybe Fermis are the ones that do take up space, and bosons are the ones that don't, or something like that. I don't remember.
Fine, I'll go with monologue.
But you know, one thing that's pretty crazy, I found out, like, I guess it makes sense in retrospect, but I never made the connection, which is when like light, like you have the sun and it's emitting light, right, like a photon. But it's also emitting light like in a sphere all around it, right? Like you imagine, like if you instantaneously turn the sun on or a light bulb on and then immediately off, there's like a sphere of light growing centered at the light bulb, right?
Yeah.
That sphere, like if you do it at the absolute briefest moment, that sphere is one photon. Like that one photon, its position is anywhere along that sphere until it gets observed, and then it gets a definite position.
All right.
To me, that's crazy, but it also like it makes sense with everything else I know about like quantum physics and so on.
My brain only uses up 10% of the room, so.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We played 2 games today. We played Yugo, the non-game, and then we played There's No Santa. My regular schedule is top left corner of the screen. Every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. That's about 2.5 hours ago in your time zone. We have the Steph Thursday stream where I play puzzle games with my co-host Stephanie. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's about 4 hours ago in your time zone. We have the solo Saturday stream where I play a random game from my review queue. We got the Discord. Join the Discord for updates to the schedule and any announcements for off-schedule streams. And I think that's it. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of Cat Parade for the while I find out the raid. Bye, Steph. See ya.